You're welcome here if you're she, he, we, or they. You're welcome here if you're gay, straight, or working it out. You're welcome here if you're in a relationship, single, divorced, or widowed. You are welcome here if you're inked, pierced, both, or neither.
You're welcome here if you're young.
Or young at heart.
You're welcome here if your neurons like to be typical or like to be spicy. You're welcome here if you're more Christian than Colin from Witch Hazel or haven't got the whole faith thing yet.
You are welcome here if you're living on a prayer or could use a prayer right now. You are welcome here if you've got it all sorted or if you've got doubts. You are welcome here.
As moon rises, the sun slips sight, begins the ritual of this night, for those convinced their path is right. Gathered from north, south, east and west, yet called at another's behest, those treading the path that is left. From near and far, come as you are to this place and embrace this space as darker hue embraces you. Of water, spirit,
Evening,
earth
Hugh.
and
All right,
fire,
fellas.
confessing the sins of empire, we come with our wounds and desire. Sensing that we are not alone, drawn to the flame that guides us home, for here, you, me, and yet to be. Importance and signs of these times, for the sake of all those maligned, is yet the home of the divine.
Hello. Wow. Pantera and Metallica live last weekend. That sounds immense. Cool. I'm so glad it was good. So I'd seen a couple of, to be fair, it was people who run kind of sound engineering type companies who were kind of critiquing Pantera's sound. Not the gig you were at. I think this was sort of in the US States. So I'm really glad that you had an awesome time. What a bill! What a bill, isn't it? I think up there, along with the big four bill when they're now former Megadeth and Metallica and Slayer and Exodus. Yeah, brilliant. And it's nice to see Gary Holt from Exodus showing some love to Youngblood in the last week as well. So we salute you. And I hope there's been good stuff for other people as well. Stuff that's made your soul sing, stuff that has just reminded you about the good stuff in life, put you back in touch with who you are, and cheered you on, giving you hope, and that you're thankful for. But so thankful, it's best to say it in Old Norse because that's Viking and that's therefore more metal. So thank you for sharing what this day has made Yao say. Guladag. But maybe alongside the good stuff, there's been stuff that has not dropped, that has sucked, that is heavy and not in a cool metal way for you at the minute. Just a chance to acknowledge that. Maybe it's stuff that we are kind of kicking ourselves about metaphorically. That we haven't been our best selves, or whether we've let other things get to us, the words and deeds of others, or even how we experience them, stuff like that. So if there's anything that people want to acknowledge, because then it's not chewing us up inside, we've kind of got it out, feel free to share it in a post on Facebook or YouTube, respecting your own confidentiality. But if it's helpful. So a chance to think about what those things are, and to lay it down, to let go of it. And it might be a situation that you're in, and it ain't going to suddenly just kind of be sorted. But maybe this time together is a chance to acknowledge the impact of it, and to be kind to yourself for this time together, and knowing that by sharing stuff, when you return to that situation, you pick that whatever it is up again, you're not doing it on your own, that you are, we are connected, that we're kind of rooting for each other. If it's helpful, particularly in your best death metal growl, if you are in a public area, or just some random black metal shriek, or the unsuspecting public, feel free to join in these words. That's me. Lay down, man.
The principalities and will to power, the worms from within my own darkest hour. I confess all the regrets and the regrets, the burdens and fears, the lament and the tears. I lay them down.
And as we acknowledge those things, and we kind of acknowledge them to ourselves and express them, internally, or whether you've written it down or whatever it is that's helpful for you. Just in that acknowledgement is also the invitation not to feel trapped in guilt or shame or any of those things, because as we acknowledge those things and we seek to be better, to do better, to experience grace towards ourselves, as well as seeking to show it to others, whilst not kind of, that isn't, let's not confuse anybody who seeks to follow Jesus, and this notion that Christians have to be nice. Jesus talks about being the salt of the earth, and a light on the hill, and light is bright and it can burn, and salt is not sugar. It adds flavor, and it can be bitter, and it can rub where perhaps things need to be exposed, right? So it's not life, treat it like a doormat. Absolutely not that. It's about justice, but also it's about grace towards ourselves. And as we acknowledge those things, I believe that the universal force of love and hope and peace and welcome comes running out to meet us in the person of Jesus, the original long-haired bearded dude from Nazareth, saying, "Come to me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, even if you don't like I'm maiden, but why wouldn't you? And I will give you rest. May rest and peace and wholeness and hope, whatever it is you need in you today, within you, may it be with you, within you, before you, in this moment." So thank you for sharing that, guys. Retro. And also, hello, Isabel. Hope you're all right. No, that's my message. That's your message. Yeah, no, that's my message. That's your message. Hi, hope you're all right. How's the heat where you are? Anybody going to gigs in this heat this weekend? I'm not sure it's better to be inside or outside in this. I suspect inside might be better. Sorry, Retro, there you are. Hey, my friend. Yes, it is hot. Ah, dude, the hedge trimming. Blimey, that's impressive in any heat. That today's heat, we salute you. We salute you. I went outside with my tortoise yesterday because it was so hot, and I saw how high the thistles had got. Going, I really ought to sort of trim this, and it was so hot. The tortoise, an African tortoise, who likes the heat, was going, that's too hot. But she didn't actually say this. It's a tortoise. She can't speak. But the first thing she did outside, go, well, was to hide somewhere nice and cool. So I'm like, that's too hot for tortoises. It's too hot for me. So fair play. That is impressive. So, oh yeah, no, it is. Oh, Alice Cooper. So I think, yeah, my favourite. What's the one with Poison on it? There were the two albums. Were the sort of early 90s albums? About the time of Wayne's World 1, Wayne's World 2. Yeah, Wayne's World 1. I don't know. Anyway, whichever one that talks about it. Yeah. Riffs for days. And is it? I can't remember how long she's been Alice Cooper's bass player. But I think she must be Pink's bass player. She's amazing in terms of like bass player. Incredible. It's 35 degrees. It's 35 degrees in Rotherham. Woo! And you're not too far away from water in Rotherham. I don't know if I'm saying Rotherham. I don't know why I'm saying that. Rotherham, sorry. But yeah. So then again, we've got kind of there's a river near me. I'm not feeling any benefit from it, but yeah. Trash, thank you. Trash had poison. Yeah. Oh. Nottingham, pre-Rock City, Tap and Tumbler, Jukebox. Start with that. Yeah. What? Isabel? That's awful. I'm so sorry. That's I hope you are okay, but you are, but and it's the shock. I don't know about you, but the kind of sense that it's all happening in slow motion. But despite that, you go, I really ought to try and stop. I can't, and it's just happening, and you go, this is going to hurt. Yeah, that's. I'm so glad nothing's broken. Okay, take it easy. Hey, stupid. Yes. Ooh, okay. Okay, right. Weymouth, yes. Let's get near some water. Wherever you need water, they'd be cold. Well, yeah. I sat down watching the tortoise on the patio. I had to stand up again. It was too hot. It was like, ow, ow. My pants are on fire. Yeah. So thank you for sharing stuff, good people. So the church where I am is a fairly modern building. It's about 60 something years old. So it is hot. We opened the windows. It is cooler. You get sort of a cross breeze and the quite high up windows and lower kind of ground level. But certainly parish churches, yeah, sort of Church of England, well, Catholic, Old Catholic, and then Church of England, churches and cathedrals. I know Edinburgh. Well, Edinburgh might be, but the Anglican Cathedral in Manchester is a designated cool space. And chatting to someone from public health that, yeah, this is, local authorities have a cool plan. I've got a cool plan. But yeah, plans for helping people to keep cool. But yeah, I think you're right. The sort of, yeah, the older the church, my sense is the cooler it is. The flip side being the older the church, the colder it is in winter. So maybe we need to kind of invite people to different types of church buildings at different times of year, as well as for silent discos like they do in Sheffield Cathedral. So I was, well, I suppose, I don't know. Yeah, okay, hold on, bear with. Just a shameless plug. Yeah. So I was going to do something for the Metal Bible, but I'm struggling to think of something because I've got something else in my head, and you've got something in your head, and you struggle to see beyond it, hear beyond it, look beyond it, feel beyond it. Insert your sensory language here. So I'm now trying to find like a Bible reading that might relate to that, but also by not talking about it and just choosing a Bible verse, I feel like might be a bit kind of just picking something, and I'm picking it rather than it being potentially helpful for others. So I'm just looking what the reading is today from the Bible. The Bible is metal, so metal is made of paper. Get yours at metalbibleinterntional.com. So yeah, Bible. There we are. So what day is it? Friday. Friyay. Woo! Shout out, hello, read the fridge. So this is from John. Yeah, okay, we'll go with it. Go with it, man. Roll with it. I know it's just not very metal, but I know that following the England game, there were many schools who were singing Wonderwall, having rewatched the match on a big screen. So that's cool. So these words, this is where, so John chapter 6, verses 52 to 59. Guys, get yourself a cool drink and settle in. You can have a hot drink if you want, obviously. You can have anything you want, to be fair. If you fancy a drink, go and get one. Let's chat. So these words, John chapter 6, verses 52 to 59. So the religious kind of leaders, Jesus is talking about him, I guess, kind of sacrificing, offering himself, laying down his life for the sake of others to kind of put right relationships between humanity, creation, and God. And in the context of early Christian communities and Eucharist, Lord's Supper, Holy Communion, the bread, the wine, and the Last Supper, which was a celebration originally of God passing over and saving the Israelites in slavery in Egypt, and then being set free by Pharaoh. Because it was more hassle to keep these people in slavery than it was to let them go, because they were nothing but trouble. And life was not going well for the Egyptians while they were there. So Jesus talks about bread and wine, and that like Flesh and Blood, which is a great album by Poison, the best Poison album. Flesh and blood, like fire to eyes. Are you ready to sacrifice? Oh, that's a nice Eucharistic metal song. Oh, anyway, I know that's not what the thing's singing about, but so anyway, the religious people who think they know everything, and this is how kind of God wants you to behave, and we know all about what God thinks, and we do what you say. Not there's people like that in religious organisations today. I can't see. Jesus says, so they're going, he's saying, I'm the living bread. He's going, what? Eat my flesh, drink my blood, as in communion, not in a cannibalistic sense. Not even a kind of, what is the song by Ghost? See the light. Not even that way. So Jesus tries to explain it and go, like, I tell you, unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his cup, you have no life in you. Those who eat my flesh and drink my blood have eternal life, and I will raise them up on the last day. We see, this stuff about the whole kind of Gothic, particularly kind of 19th century, Bram Stoker vampire fear of something different, the whole blood flesh thing. Yeah, and here it is. It's pretty dark, right? It means what? It's here, Bible, man. So drink my blood, says Jesus. But unless you do that, if you do that, I will raise you up on the last day. For my flesh is true food, and my blood is true drink. Those who eat my flesh and drink my blood live in me, dwell in me, abide in me, and I in them. Just as the living Father, the all-parent, the divine force of love, hope, and justice, God. So I live because of, Jesus said, I believe because of God, and you live because of me. So there's the whole thing about communion there, and it's not about cannibalism, but it's fairly cool and Gothic, right? So, hello, Rachel. Hope you're okay. Yes, Alice Cooper is definitely a Christian. I think he was also certainly a sponsor for Dave Mustaine for Megadeth, and Dave Mustaine and Jeff Ellison, also Christians. Yeah, no, it does, doesn't it? Doesn't it just? So yeah, and so it's a metaphor, a way of talking about one thing by using the image of something else that perhaps helps us relate to it. So there's something about flesh and blood is what makes us alive, and so well, and I suppose in a kind of Countess Bathory kind of way, bathing in the blood of young people to keep eternal youth. And Jesus going, look, actually, and this is about the eating and drinking is a metaphor, I think, for faith, putting faith in God, in Jesus, and seeking to follow Him and to listen to His kind of advice, rules for life. And so offering to give himself so that through that faith in him, that metaphorical flesh and blood, and his physical flesh and blood, his death on the cross, basically, and remembering that sacrifice when we have bread and wine in church, Eucharist, communion, but that act of faith, that reminder of faith, putting our faith in Jesus, that actually, whatever happens, Jesus will raise us up on the last day. And from that, you get the kind of idea of the resurrection of the dead. Obviously, Jesus crucified, and then Sunday morning, whatever day of the week it was, goes to the tomb, and he's not there. And then people say, we've seen him, he's alive. And I go, what? But that's the promise to all of us. So that whatever, there is this eternal promise that whatever happens, ultimately, we live and move and have our being in Jesus now, but also ultimately, eternally, He will raise us up. So I guess I'm asking for your advice and your help, being brutally honest. So the thing about putting our faith in Jesus and trying, like I said earlier, that we're called to be salt and light, salt is white, can be mistaken for sugar. We're not necessarily called to be nice. We're called to seek justice and act justly, to kind of do our best to walk humbly, lightly towards other people, towards creation, as we sit in this heat and in the context of climate change and the El Nino effect and the death of the mighty major oak in Sherwood Forest after 1,000 years as a result of all this stuff. And so, what do you guys do when things get tough? When kind of the words and deeds of others, especially when they are people who may even potentially say they are trying their best to follow Jesus as well, but what they do, it kind of gets to you. It gets to you, and I don't know about you, but I start to question myself. I doubt myself, and it's that thing of, all right, in Jesus, this raise you up on the last day, this kind of being held eternally, and that faith, not just a physical act of bread and wine communion, but that act of faith that's a symbol of trying to learn more about what Jesus said in your metal Bible and kind of try and emulate the way he lived by welcoming people, by challenging injustice. What is it that helps you deal with the stuff that can get to you, and to focus on signs of life and hope and love, and to keep on keeping on, to keep the faith, as Bon Jovi once said, with a fantastic bass line. Obviously, faith is one of those things. The metal Bible, definitely. But does music help? Does kind of blasting something really loud and having a good mosh like there was washing certainly helps me. A bit of Machine Head with the, is it old? Davidian, Jesus Wept, in a sort of sometimes a little bit of Killing in the Name Of by Rage Against the Machine, or even just the riff of Raining Blood, just something that just blows the speakers. Is that I find that helpful sometimes. I don't know about you. Perhaps sometimes then playing something completely miserable. So getting my dying bride on and just going, this sucks. This sucks. And just that melancholy leaning into it. Yeah. Do you have experiences like that? Does music help you? Does being outside help you? Walking help you? Gaming? Yeah. What that helps us keep going when the going gets tough? I guess. Be interested to find out. Man, what are you doing in my hair? Okay, cool, thank you. Okay, so play music, go for a walk with your camera. The photography group. So, okay, so yeah, sometimes on your own, but actually connecting with people. So changing the scenery, connecting with stuff. So I quite like going to places like historic stuff where it's been stuff that, yeah, ancient ruins, stuff like that, but the stuff that's kind of been there for hundreds, even 1,000 years, and that sense of perspective. Same with like, trees and nature, I guess. That this just all happens. It's just there. No, we shouldn't take it for granted, especially in this heat. But somehow nature and this stuff is, and it's there regardless of the stuff that's going on for me. I just offers that sense of perspective. That's really helpful. Yeah. Yeah. When things get tough, help yourself and act. Don't wallow. Yeah. And I think for those who, like me, may have ADHD, I'm going to get the phrasing wrong. I can't remember the book, but I think a book written by somebody who has ADHD, who spent a lot of time supporting people with ADHD before going, hold on a minute. And he talked about this kind of active and passive brain. So when your brain is just like tick, 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 tick. And certainly my tick, tick, tick is not a helpful one. It's a negative one. And it wakes you up in the night and stops you going to sleep. You're a complete failure. You are terrible. What a waste of space. Sorry, that's my brain doing it to me. I'm not saying that to anybody watching. Sorry. Yeah, and so this guy wrote this book was saying, yeah, for then doing something that kind of occupies your brain enough so that that wallowing doesn't take over or happen, and that sense of perspective and different environment, and maybe then again the wonder of the human brain, I guess, that then we kind of feel differently and are able to approach things differently. So maybe then Jesus says he'll raise us up on the last day, but that's really helpful in terms of how we can be part of the answer to our own prayer, I guess, and taking care of ourselves and going outside and doing something, which is what Jesus had those moments. Jesus justifiably lost it in the temple and tipped everything over and went, what are you doing, ripping people off who just come here to worship God, and you're extorting them to be able to have the right thing that you say they can use to sacrifice to God. How dare you make a mockery of people's faith in this way, and Jesus getting overwhelmed. Like, there's just people everywhere. Like, dude, I just leave me alone for a bit. Whoa, I've got nothing. I'm running on fumes. And off he goes in a boat, or tries to, or halfway up a mountain, change of scenery, just on his own, or with a few trusted friends, like Retro saying. So, thanks as well. Yeah, listen to music, going to the garden, countryside, or the rare trips to the coast. Yeah, or ancient sites. Absolutely. I don't know. There's part of me that thinks some of these sites, particularly if they've been kind of linked to forms of spirituality, that maybe in the Bible it talks about deep calling to deep, and groaning, the God Spirit groaning, the spirit of creation, creative force in the universe, kind of groaning and expressing and connecting without being in words we can't express, but it's an inner thing, and that sense of peace, perspective, transformation that can happen, and re-entering situations and encountering people where it has been difficult, but some things switched in our head maybe, and we approached it in a different way. Yeah, that's really helpful. And I know people have heard this, but there's kind of story about a guy who, so trigger warning, this is about flood. So if you've had any bad experiences around water or the house has been flooded, just guy and it's flood and it's sort of, oh crikey. So he runs up to the top floor of the house. Please God, help me. And so he's hanging out the window and the water's coming up, and bloke comes out past on a little canoe. It says, "All right, mate, do you want a lift?" He's going, "That's all right. I'm waiting on God. So all right, mate. Off he goes. And the next minute, the RNLI come out. I don't know how they got from the coast inland, but anyway, they're there. I think I got a lifeboat. Oh, mate, do you want to get on? You want to get on? Because no, it's all right. I'm praying. God's got it. And off they go. And anyway, it doesn't end well, basically. And anyway, cutscene, and then he's chatting. He's chatting to God, going, "Dude, God, like, well, I prayed. I did all the faith thing, and I prayed that you'd help me. And yet here I am. What's going on?" God says, "Dude, like, there was the guy in the boat. I sent the guy in the boat. There was the guy in the boat. Did you not see the guy in the boat? Then there was the lifeboat. I sent the lifeboat. The lifeboat. What are you doing?" It's like, yeah, like, I sent you a lifeboat, man. Meet me halfway. So yeah, these things that we know are positive for us, alongside faith, and actually that's kind of, those are gifts from God. I think nature, particularly, being around good people that we feel safe and comfortable with, and that value us for who we are, just as we are. People who have words of encouragement rather than words of negativity and criticism. And maybe the word angel, evangelism, basically comes from the same thing about being a messenger, a bearer, somebody who carries and brings good news. Be around those people. They are angels, and they are made in the image of God. God, the creator of all things, the source and sustainer of all life. So the stuff that we know works is also of God. It's also a way in which Jesus raises us up ahead of that, eternal heaven fully kissing the earth and heaven being on earth for everyone. No more dying, no more crying, God wiping away every tear from our eyes, God's dwelling place being with us in creation. Absolutely that promise. But in the meantime, when you need the lifeboats, when you need to see the guy with the boat, when you need to go outside with your camera, when you need to put that bit of music on, yeah, absolutely, it's still part of God's provision, I think. So yeah, really wise words. Thank you. That's helped me. Thank you. And not to be completely self-indulgent, but I guess if I'm experiencing something, chances are other people may have similar experiences, and sharing together, we learn from each other. So thank you. I've remembered that I haven't listened, to be honest. I haven't listened to music recently. I found it really hard. I've struggled to be outside. I know in this heat, but yeah, to go, well, it's a bit of a hassle to go out somewhere that's old, that might make me feel cool, better with myself. And to, I've probably got stuck in that wallowing thing. So really cool advice. Thank you. So is there anything else that we want to bring as our offering to the all parent? Again, it could be situations we're going through, could be situations in the lives of others, could be things in the world, things in the news that we've seen. Just thinking about those caught up in wildfires in Spain, those struggling in the heat, those recovering having taken tumbles. The ongoing situation in Gaza and with Iran and Ukraine, and the places we don't hear about in, certainly as far as I'm fully aware, in Western media too much at the minute, but Sudan, Yemen, all those places. So what is it we bring as our offering to your parent for this day? If there's stuff you want to share with a comment on YouTube or on Facebook, please do, and we'll share those with an invitation to join together in these words.
To the one in whom all people and all creation have their being, may your kingdom come, your will be done, as above, so below. Sustain us for this day. Show us grace as we seek to show grace to those we feel have wronged us.
There she is.
Save us from the worst that is within us and within this world. For the kingdom, the power, and the glory are yours, now and forever. Amen.
And now, the notices. Okay, several notices. I'm trying to separate them in my brain so they don't come out as one big mush. So first one, not this Saturday, but a week tomorrow. It is Friday today, isn't it? Yes. Yes, that's why I'm doing this. Yes. So a week tomorrow at 3:00 at St. Paul's in Dronfield. So that's just over the border from Sheffield, northeast Derbyshire. Train out from Sheffield City Centre if you come in that way, or just off the M1 near Hardwick Hall exit if you're on the motorway. At 3:00 we are having our Metal Methodist meetup. So at 3:00 for about an hour, couple of hours, a chance to have a cup of tea or something cold, just to chat together, and to just share together. There will be music, there will be a chance to sing if that's your thing. Well, that mind. So it'd be really good to see you. I know some people are making a bit of a trek down, so I really appreciate that. And again, if you've not been before, it's totally fine. There's no pressure to participate or do anything. You could just kind of be there. It's just a space that hopefully feels safe for you, and it'd be really good to see you there. Also, if you are at all interested in this sort of thing and getting involved in Metal Methodist streams, then next Friday, so a week today, at 7:00 after we've done the stream here, I'll put a post on our Facebook page, so facebook.com/Metal Methodist, or it's in the Facebook group. If you message me or post a comment on this stream, or on YouTube or Facebook or YouTube on the stream, if you'd like an invitation to an online chat, it won't be streamed, so you can have your camera off, you can have your microphone off, you can just type in the chat if you want to, but just talk about how this happens, and to see if it's the sort of thing you might want to get involved in, instead of listening to me, which would make the world a better place, let's be honest. So yeah, if you have any interest or skills in that department, you don't have to have any skills if you're interested in learning something, because you know, even by not knowing anything, you will have better skills than me, as I demonstrate each week. Then a chance to do that. That's at 7:00 next Friday. If you post a comment on the Facebook post or on this stream, I will send you a joining link. It will be on Zoom, but it won't be streamed. You can have your camera off. You can keep your mic off. Don't have to participate at all. You can just type in comments if you want to. So heads up, let us know. And as always, if any of this is helpful, and you feel like dropping a couple of quid to buy St Hilda of Whitby a Yorkshire iced tea in this weather, then please do, or to support us more long term, then you can do so at kofi.com/Metal Methodist. I think I said that right. Kofi.com Metal Methodist at the bottom of the screen now. Yeah. So thank you for your company and words of wisdom. May all your drinks be cold and your ice creams even colder. Also, if you're in the Dronfield area tomorrow, we're having an ice cream social. It's not to do with Metal Methodist. It's just like a regular church. We're doing a thing that's stuff that happens. It's a US tradition, I think, possibly certainly around New England. So a way to celebrate 4th of July slightly belatedly as well. But yeah, a chance just to hang out and more importantly to eat something cold. yeah, so if you're around and you want to join us, I think that's at 2 o'clock. Yes, at St Paul's in Dronfield, and the following Saturday at 3 o'clock at St Paul's Dronfield is our Metal Methodist meetup. So thank you, good people, and yeah, I hope you continue to recover well. Isabel, see you Sunday. Rachel, if I don't see you tomorrow. Hello, if you're watching this in the future, which is now my past. I hope you're okay. Feel free to join in with anything that's happened during this stream on a comment. We will look at them and reply. So thank you. And Retro, yeah, just fair play for enjoy the music and enjoy all you've achieved on the hedge. That's awesome. Yeah, and until next time, and there will be a next time. Sway with me, Metal Compline. I can't say it. Sway with me, Metal Compline. Goodbye.